Samvara text.
From the state of emptiness arises Ah, from which arise skull cups, each containing a Hong. The syllables melt and turn into an inconceivable offering clouds, undefiled nectar in essence and a variety of distinct features in appearance. Page 26. In the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, I unceasingly take refuge. In the Yogin, secret mantra, and Dakini, the embodiments of the three wheels, and the male and female spiritual warriors, I unceasingly take refuge. For the sake of all sentient beings, I will become Haruka and establish all sentient beings in the supreme state of Haruka. In the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, I unceasingly take refuge. In the Yogin, secret mantra, and Dakini, the embodiments of the three wheels, and in the male and female spiritual warriors, I unceasingly take refuge. For the sake of all sentient beings, I will become Haruka and establish all sentient beings in the supreme state of Haruka. In the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, I unceasingly take refuge. In the Yogin, secret mantra, and Dakini, the embodiments of the three wheels, and in the male and female spiritual warriors, I unceasingly take refuge. For the sake of all sentient beings, I will become Haruka and establish all sentient beings in the supreme state of Haruka. Shri is non-dual primordial wisdom. He is emptiness of causes and so forth. Ru is free from coming together, and Ka is nowhere abiding. I am glorious Haruka, the cause of benefit and happiness for all sentient beings. Shri Haruka Ham. I appear as the great glorious Chakrasamvara. My 5 aggregates are the 5 Buddha families. My 5 elements are the 5 mothers, and my sense sources are the bodhisattvas. From the life force syllable Hong at my heart emerge 4 Sumbani mantras, black, green, red, and yellow. They emanate into the 4 directions and transform into an indestructible Vajra fence, ground, web, tent, canopy, and a dome of wisdom flames, becoming a vast protection sphere. Solid, secure, and utterly terrifying, it is impregnable to obstructors, even to Brahma. Page 30. The light radiating from the Hong at the heart of myself, appearing as Haruka, invites the Guru and the gathering of Chakrasamvara deities into the space before me. Vajrasamvara.
Mahir Chakrasamvara Mandala Be Hero Gasabar Agamba de Zazova Hero Gasabar Baden Bade Zazova Hero Gasabar Bube Bade Zazova Hero Gasabar Duban Bade Zazova Hero Gasabar Alogan Bade Zazova Hero Gasabar Gandhi Bade Zazova Hero Gasabar Nevede Bade Zazova Hero Gasabar Shada Bade Dharma Dardam Bez Benza Amrda Benza Mang Savarana Samaye Sarvadata Engata Anurangan Bazra Sobhava Emagon.
Page 33, at the bottom. I take refuge in the three jewels and confess each and every wrongdoing. I rejoice in the virtues of beings and will hold the Buddha's awakening in mind. I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly until attaining enlightenment. I give rise to bodhicitta in order to fully accomplish the purpose of others and myself. Having given rise to the Supreme Mind of bodhicitta, I welcome all sentient beings. I will practice the Supreme Bodhisattva conduct of acting with kindness. May I attain enlightenment for the benefit of all beings. I take refuge in the three jewels and confess each and every wrongdoing. I rejoice in the virtues of beings and will hold the Buddha's awakening in mind. I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly until attaining enlightenment. I give rise to bodhicitta in order to fully accomplish the purpose of others and myself. Having given rise to the Supreme Mind of bodhicitta, I welcome all sentient beings. I will practice the Supreme Bodhisattva conduct of acting with kindness. May I attain enlightenment for the benefit of all beings. I take refuge in the three jewels and confess each and every wrongdoing. I rejoice in the virtues of beings and will hold the Buddha's awakening in mind. I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly until attaining enlightenment. I give rise to bodhicitta in order to fully accomplish the purpose of others and myself. Having given rise to the Supreme Mind of bodhicitta, I welcome all sentient beings. I will practice the Supreme Bodhisattva conduct of acting with kindness. May I attain enlightenment for the benefit of all beings. The field of accumulation dissolves into me. 36. My body gradually dissolves into the awareness Hong, which then remains in space in the form of the nada string. From the luminous and empty natural state of all phenomena arises an intensely blazing protection sphere of Vajra ground, fence, tent, web, canopy, and masses of fire. At its center arises space, wind, fire, water, earth, and Mount Meru, upon which arises a variegated lotus and a cross Vajra. At the center of that arises a broom, from which arises a great immeasurable palace made of various precious substances, brilliant and complete in its characteristics. Outside are spheres of lotuses and vajras, masses of fire, and the charnel grounds. Inside the palace, in the center of a multicolored lotus, is a sun disk with Bhairava and Kalarati as its seat, upon which is a mandala of sun and moon, and the white vowels and red consonants. In an instant, the nada of my awareness enters in and transforms into a vajra with a brilliant blue hung at its center. Light emanating from it makes offerings to the Buddhas and benefits beings. The light gathers back and dissolves into the seed syllable. The moon, sun, seed syllable, and implement transform, and I arise as the transcendent Chakrasamvara, outshining the radiance of a clear sky. I have one face, 3 eyes, and bared fangs. My hair knot is adorned with jeweled, dried skulls bound by a garland of vajras along my hairline. The top of my hair knot is adorned with a jewel, the front with a cross vajra, and the left with a crescent moon. Holding a vajra and bell in my hands, I am embracing the consort. With my left leg bent, I stand on Bhairava's head, and my outstretched right leg presses down between Kalarati's breasts. I bear the 6 charnel ground adornments, a loose tiger skin skirt, and a garland of 50 freshly severed heads around my neck, and I display the 9 moods of dance. On my lap is a coral-colored Vajrayogini with 1 face and 3 eyes. Half her hair flows down loosely, and the other half is bound up with 5 dried skulls. Embracing the neck of the father, her left hand offers a skull cup filled with nectar. The right hand, in threatening mudra, fiercely brandishes a curved knife with a vajra handle. Her left leg is outstretched, and her right leg is wrapped around the father. Blissful and endowed with the youth of a 16-year-old, her beauty is extraordinary. She is naked and delights in blood, wears a garland of 50 dried skulls, and is endowed with the 5 mudras. The father and mother are adorned with the major and minor marks and silken scarves. Like the fire at the end of time, their blissful union of method and wisdom is magnificent. In front is a blue dakini, to the left green lama, behind is red kandoroha, and to the right is yellow rupini. Each has 1 face, 3 eyes, menacing laughter, bared fangs, hair flying loose, a crown ornament of dried skulls, and a garland of 50 dried skulls around the neck. In their right hands they each brandish aloft in space a curved knife, and in their left they hold to their hearts skulls filled with blood. A khatvanga is tucked into the crook of the left arm. Their bodies are naked and sensuous, and they are endowed with the 5 symbols. With the right leg outstretched and the left leg bent, they dance majestically upon corpses. In the 4 intermediate directions, upon moon disk, are vases filled with the 5 nectars, and topped by skull cups filled with the 5 meats. At the forehead of each deity on a moon disk is a white Om, at the throat on a lotus is a red A, and at the heart at the center of a cross vajra is a blue Hung. At the father's heart is a white Om Ha, at the forehead yellow Namahi, at the crown red Svaha Hu, at both shoulders black Va Sat He, at both eyes crimson Hong Hong Ho, and at all limbs green Pe Ham. At the navel of the mother is a red Om Vam, at the heart is a blue Ham Yom, at the mouth white Hrim Mom, at the head yellow Hrim Hrim, at the crown green Hong Hong, and at all limbs gray Pe Pe.
Pem Pem.
The light radiating from the Hong at my heart invites the Viras and Yoginis of the 10 directions and the empowerment deities into the space before me.
beza vanje hoin be oin beza mdange hoin be oin beza mranze hoin be oin beza haze hoin be oin beza laze hoin be oin beza ngerde hoin be oin beza nerde hoin be oin beza bebe hoin be oin beza dube hoin be oin beza deban hoin be oin beza ngende hoin be oin ruban beza hoin be oin razan beza hoin be oin zabarayem beza hoin be oin dharma dardum beza hoin be nza hoin ba ho.
The wisdom and commitment beings become indivisible.
Yoga Sheda Sarva Dharam Yoga Sheda Sarva Tata Gata Jenzadama.
Page 47. Having been supplicated, the empowerment deities hold aloft vases filled with nectar and proclaim, just as the Buddhas were bathed upon birth, we will bathe you with the pure water of the gods.
Sarva Tata Gata Abhijagad Samaya Jiraya.
Saying this, they bestow the empowerment with the nectar, which falls from my body and purifies all defilements, transforming me into the supreme nature of great bliss. The empowerment deities then dissolve into me. From the overflowing nectar arises a crown ornament of Akshobhya on the principal lord, Vairochana on the mother, and Ratnasambhava on the four Dakinis.
Agamba de Zazova, Gazabaravar, in Zamana Bade Zazova, Gazabaravar, Trojana Bade Zazova, Gazabaravar, Padem Bade Zazova, Gazabaravar, Bebe Bade Zazova, Gazabaravar, Dubam Bade Zazova, Gazabaravar, Aloge Bade Zazova, Gazabaravar, Gande Bade Zazova, Gazabaravar, Nevede Bade Zazova, Gazabaravar, Shabda Bade Zazova. Zaverne hoin be zavanje hoin be zamdange hoin be zamranze hoin be zrahaze hoin be zalaze hoin be bezangerde hoin bezanerde hoin bezabube hoin bezadebe hoin bezadeba hoin Om Bezangande Om Be Om Ruban Bezawo Om Be Om Razan Bezawo Om Be Om Saparajam Bezawo Om Be Om Dharma Dadam Bezawo Om Be.
Page 51. I offer to the mouths of the kind root guru and all the glorious holy lineage gurus. Om, homage to the conqueror, the courageous Lord. I bow to you who blaze like the fire at the end of a great kalpa, whose locks are bound up at the crown, whose face is terrifying, fiercely bearing fangs, whose hands gleaming with 1,000 lights raise a battle axe and a lasso and hold a spear and a katvanga. You who wear a tiger skin robe, whose smoky color resembles great darkness. Om, homage to the transcendent conqueress, to the Vajravarahi, to the Supreme Mother of the three worlds, invincible awareness consort, who destroys all fear of evil spirits with your great Vajra nature. To you with controlling eyes, who remain like a Vajra seat unconquered by others, who neutralizes even poison, wrathful, fierce lady bearing your fangs, terrifier, annihilator who severs completely, who conquers all adversaries, all victorious one, conquering those who make us dull, rigid, and confused. To Vajravarahi, great yogini, powerful lady who fulfills all desires, I bow. Homage to the 4 heart yoginis who represent the 4 activities of pacifying, enriching, overpowering, and suppressing. The 4 placements of mindfulness of body, feeling, mind, and phenomena, and the 4 levels of joy: joy, supreme joy, beyond joy, and co-emergent joy. Homage to inseparable method and wisdom, the 4 Tathagatas, such as the unchanging one, abiding in the intermediate directions in the form of offerings, the 4 vases with skull cups filled with nectar. Inside my body, appearing as Haruka, are the 3 channels and 4 chakras. At my crown is a white hum, at my throat is a white om, at my heart a blue hung, and at my navel a red ah. From the ah, wisdom fire blazes forth, burning away the syllables of the 3 chakras. From the hum, white drops descend, and restoring the 3 syllables, blissful warmth blazes forth. From the hung at my heart, the mantra garland emerges. It descends through the pathway of the Vajra, enters the lotus of the mother, and arises through her central channel. It emerges from her mouth, enters again into my mouth, and dissolves into the seed syllable at my heart. In this way, it circles continuously.
So there were questions yesterday about an abbreviated practice, and so there is this abbreviated practice that was sent to everybody on the email list. So we all get this very short Chakrasamvara practice. So we went through the torma, the preliminary torma yesterday, and so now we're on the section with the offerings, which, so again, we have, the recitation of these mantras, Om Kandarohe and Om Swabhawa, etc. And so just as it was, with the blessing the torma, we use primarily the nectar to bless the offerings. So with Om Kandarohe, you can sprinkle with the Kapala nectar. And I just asked him to clarify also, do we also sprinkle with the vase water? So he said, yes, you can do both. You can sprinkle with the nectar and also sprinkle with the vase water. So this is very similar, to how we bless the nectar and the torma. But here, as it says, from the state of emptiness arises Ah, from which arise skull cups. So what we're visualizing is that each of the offering bowls become skull cups with the syllable hung inside, so each containing the syllable hung. The syllables melt and turn into inconceivable offering clouds, undefiled nectar and essence, and a variety of distinct features and appearance. And so we visualize, the offerings as bowls as skull cups, then the hung syllable inside, and then from this there comes like these inexhaustible, inconceivably vast offerings that are also extremely pure, like immaculate, and also really pleasant, really pleasurable to the senses. And so it's really important when we actually have, when it comes to the outer offerings that are arranged, that they're really like of finest quality, that they're fresh, that they're not old. So for instance, like same with tormas. So we often use sampa to make tormas. And so it's not okay to use like old sampa that's already gone bad that you wouldn't want to eat, or to use butter, that's spoiled. you really want it to be like the freshest and the best. So the best butter, like freshest and like kind of the best quality butter, the best quality samba. If it's fruits, for instance, you want it to be very ripe, very kind of fresh fruits that aren't at all spoiled or going bad. You want to use whatever substances that are even better than what you yourself would eat, like the kind of the most desirable. So some people, for instance, they might say like, oh, the samba's going bad, this samba isn't bad. That's okay, we can use it for tormas. But actually that's not okay. So you don't want to use bad samba for making tormas. You really want your offerings and tormas to be fresh and good quality.
Om tia then yo the home chidu ahon to chagarwa banza sen dorje rwa argam te that one choyon serwa dorje choyons go son to chinjilo sita go son to chinjilo serwa what na yige de argam enza manam sena terwa karse enza manam shesi la she ka she jaga sarwa shesi la mare shesi ji So
gari dampo argam thumya rebe.
Argam ten choyon thumya asarwa.
Tene de
shesi. Shesi sena ka chupi jaga na sarwa ka chupi. She won't to yano, don't to yano this. Tene Simba Santoros and Yagula Dorian, Roba. Dorian, what is Simba to do Argam. Then she sees buddings and Chuyon Shapsi or Shapsia. Bubi Metorwa, the Dubia Dupueta, Alogaman Mechi, Genda Chichachi, Nebede. She's a cheat, she had a rumor. What is some matter? Dorje Jane goes on to change lobs. What that's into Jargo.
So we do we have the actual offerings that, are those representational offerings that we, for instance, arrange on the shrine. And then we also have the mind-emanated offerings. And so that is kind of emanating inwardly through the mind, whatever it is that you can imagine to offer that is like delightful and appealing, whether, they are those things in the universe that are owned or that are not owned. So you can really just emanate limitless offering clouds inwardly with the mind. And then when it comes to the recitation of the mantra, we have Om, Vajra, and then Ahung, and each of the offerings in between. So first Om, Vajra, Argam, Ahung. So Om, Ahung, so Vajra is Vajra. So this is referring to like the Vajra nature, both offering and blessings of body, speech, and mind, because Om, Ahung are the syllables of Vajra, speech, and mind. And so then, and then each of the different offerings represent, different aspects of the pleasurable qualities of the senses. And so first we have Argam, which is water for drinking, then Ansamanam, which is water for washing the face, Trokshanam, which is water for anointing or sort of sprinkling, Padyam, which is water for washing the feet, Pushpe, which are flowers, Dupe, which is incense, Aloke, which is light, Gande, which is like scented water or perfume, Nuede, which is food, and Shabda, which is music. And so then each of these offerings are offered to the senses with the kind of also with sealed with the blessings of Vajra, body, speech, and mind.
Nindu ngason choba jetangchi na xie da kaze nenza mana da da se zhokzhen ni po mi bei choba je yora argam bading se wo tingi da jetang chue te tangbo siwo ngarwo yo ba te ka gom song de choya choyong si da choyong ro wo de ne cha sha so ba siwa chue tangbo yo ba de si 我这在metro 年纪有吧，这哪把这边metro，我这哪把这边metro，这见了不过的是，我这之前都不是抢了，我这那那些那些的了见了一下，那些慢慢的见了起，直接的了出卡了，这直接出卡了，不过的是，不过的是。
哦。 So then the kongta the rede the gare the flag young cool.
Oh, thank you. Last one can you metro the
So young check.
Tambu last one the him the hill pugwa. Shabs shabsi kaze choyong the. And dancing see him arbe him the choyong the hill pu. Oh, the cha the shot to see at the chu tambu yoba the shabsi se. Oh, the chow yab pu. Then the number Java 年纪我有被没错的，见了不？我的这些不有被都不的想了不？想是哪的哇？我的那那些的哇，那些慢慢的见了不？
慢慢见。
我这吃汤点的嘞，西部有吧去？我西家这我的土卡了不？ 吃嘛要不吃吃不是，吃嘛要不有被曲解有了，我这土卡了不？他土卡的呢，就当那个就抽用是做我土卡力气呢，我这呢就堂店被写着，就堂店被写着的家了不？我这呢年不有被入么的年了不？我但抽用这说不过说啥的，我他这那个说。 我觉得老主呢，开始普普人，就把说开始普普的，我现在不要没上过，老主他们开始普普，我开始普普，开始用那什么普呢？这晓得吧？我老主呢，这普呢，这那一说那么说做个的是，那是西乡的噻。
And so each of these offerings we're also offering to the different sense faculties of the deity. So, you know, the water for drinking, you know, we're offering to kind of quench thirst, offering to the mouth of the deity, the water for the face, you know, to the face of the deity, water for sprinkling to the full body of the deity, water for the washing the feet to the feet, you know, washing the feet of the deity, the flowers, you know, really sort of fully, you know, blossoming, beautiful, exquisite flower we're offering to the eyes of the deity. And incense we're offering to the nose of the deity. Light we're also offering to the eyes of the deity, or butter lamps. And scented water or perfume we're offering to the heart of the deity, he said. And the food, you know, very nutritious and really delicious, like most exquisite food, we're offering to the tongue of the deity, and really beautiful, pleasant sounding music we're offering to the ears of the deity. And so in this way, together with, you know, as we make these offerings, we can emanate them from our mind, and we can really expand them and make them immeasurable in their scope, you know, just including, you know, whatever it is that we can think of. We can create it inwardly with the mind and offer it up, and then this becomes an accumulation, a vast accumulation of merit.
내절 장강 칸로마 콜로좀제 다니제 바우탄에 바모소 Kuna da do jab su che se do. Tu jamro chi. Ta jamro te ta sanje chu ta gen du la se da se na sanje chu tu mo jamro sa wa. Tu mo jamro chi. Tene da do dan jab su chi. Ta sang ma je par sang jab su ro ji yin se wa. Tene ne jor zang ang khan ro ma se te ta se sa re. Tu mo ma yin be jamro. Ti chi. Tene zang ak jamro. Then Kolo Zomji Dani
Lama Yedam Dakini.
Nama Yedam da Babo to Kosho Sari, Kando to Watine, Kolo Zomji Dani, Kolo Zom, Gu Kolo, Demcho Kolo, Demcho Gu Kolo, Zon Kolo, To Kolo, Yorwa, Guson To Kolo, Guson To Kolo, La Gigi Yore, La Gigi to Yom Nini, the niche Sabiki, Napching of Charo, Napching of Gichak, Malay, the Charwa.
So Corlo Rela Jere Jere.
Oh, Jason nicht Sabi. One color that.
Then a young
Yom Chidu, Napching of Gino, the Shaffer Sarwa. Tendunda, they check it. Napching of Jim or ship in San Mare, or ship Jiva. Or ship G, Gon Gonzala Moji Jamna, Napching of Rochi, or T. Gontarala, Kando Shijamna, Trush Sambachi. T. Gon.
So Kusum to la.
T. Gon Gonsam G. Javada. Gonsam Lamoji, Gonsam Laji, or Gomashin, Samashe, Laji. Telang up Chungarose. T. Gontarala, Kando Sheja, the Trush Sambasia. T. Gona, them cho Yamon Egypt, them cho la Truchirani. Yamna and do Sarwa.
Dinity come like Nigarere?
That them cho Yabium Ni Euro. Them Truchiranis.
So then we do the offerings, and then following the section of offering is the recitation of refuge and bodhicitta. And so we recite, the words here in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, I unceasingly take refuge. So first we take refuge in the three jewels. And then in the Yogin, secret mantra, and Dakini, the embodiments of the three wheels. And in the male and female spiritual warriors, I unceasingly take refuge. So first is the common refuge of the three jewels, and then the uncommon refuge, which includes the three roots and the mandala of the deity. So the yogin, the secret mantra itself, the dakini, and the embodiments of the three wheels, referring to all of the deities that dwell kind of in the three places of the deity. So in each of the three wheels or chakras of body, speech, and mind, there are 8 deities, so making 24. And then also the 8 consorts, making 48. And then there are also the 8 deities or dakinis in the intermediate directions, and the 8 gatekeepers, making 56. And then, in addition, we have the 4 dakinis, the main dakinis, the 4 dakinis, making 60. And then we have Chakrasamvara Yabhyum being 2. So altogether, that's 62 deities.
That's the nature of the nature set it to Kogo, Kolodumba Yoro. Nature Kolodumba Tiji, Kolodumba Sanji Conchochi. What in Sanga to Tinga Yoro?
So they now drop by them at the Kolodumba.
On Kolodumba Sanji Conchochi. Telling Nango Sanga Zedo, Sanga that's it, Yoranga Ze. Ningbo and the Ning Jomoda, Zaving on Yorota, or Tazutama Chu Conchochi, or Tenin Kando, she last for but that goes on to Incolo to take Gindu Conchochi, or that's it. Tadatigan, Conchos, Jabs and Rotantes and doing Sari.
So also here in the uncommon refuge, this also corresponds or embodies the refuge of the three jewels. So we have taking refuge in the yogin. That's in the same as taking refuge in the deity, Chakrasamvara, and that corresponds to the Buddha. So that taking refuge in the yogin, i.e. the deity, Chakrasamvara, is taking refuge in the Buddha. And then taking refuge in the secret mantra itself, like for instance, specifically referring to the recitation of mantra or the activities of speech, like all of the mantras, the heart, the essence mantra, the close essence mantra, all of the various mantras, the mantra of the yap and the yum, then that becomes, the essence of speech, which is the jewel of the Dharma. So that, includes, that becomes taking refuge in the Dharma. And then the Dakini and the embodiments of the three wheels, all of the male and female spiritual warriors or dakas and dakinis, then that becomes refuge in the Sangha. So in that way also the three jewels are here, in this, also included in this uncommon refuge.
Just some cheat ram drain thousand shandor. Rab to choose the with some cheese. The choke to ya low down in Tayang and on the jail. The choke to not set them in jail that of grace. Low the window. Low the window.
Oh, yeah.
Choose the Then the choke to young and on job chose to not set them in that. Some chum the cheek. Tendrin chickens, better than some chance some cheese, Sanji Sadu, then around Sanjia. Some of them simply wrapped race. That's something drained in your body with some cheese. The round yammed by Trumpanian, Trudonianda, that a true non mayor, Tinipun yam patmontogura, or the Rangians sometimes some cheese, Sanjia, some of them, that's some cheese. Drained in the Sarita. Well, that's something Tama, the stay on Jeroda with some cheese, Jeroda Tamboran Sanji, then sometimes Sanjia. Bechanda, Jeruan, Jeru Chasana, Bantas or Deva Drew to Grace, the Nagi, Ran Sanji, Simtia, Tamsi Sanjia. Or then Jikan Zongo Gumbo, not a Karzon Dosana, Jikan Zongo Gompati, Star, that's a nearby with Simtia or a true Dandoya, Rangian Simtia, Tamti, Yam Sanjia. Or take Yamnachi on
So then we have, essentially the bodhicitta commitment, as we say, for the sake of all sentient beings, I will become Heruka and establish all sentient beings in the supreme state of Heruka. So when it comes to bodhicitta, there are the different levels of motivation, or bodhicitta, which are it's like the kind of superior, the most excellent level, the middling level, and the lesser level. So the most excellent level is that which is like completely selfless, meaning that, so the example that is given is that it is the bodhicitta that is like a shepherd. So just like the example of a shepherd who ushers his flock in front of him, and so, all of his sheep, go in front. They get to the destination first, and he follows behind, guiding from behind. And so with this kind of motivation, this is the intention that, first and foremost are all sentient beings. May they attain awakening first, and then one's own awakening, it's the aspiration that one's own awakening will come last, but that first one will guide all sentient beings to awakening. And then the middling level is that of a captain of a ship. So just like a captain of a ship who is steering the ship, guiding the ship, but he, together with him in the ship are all of the passengers, and they all arrive at their destination together. So one doesn't go first, one doesn't follow behind, but they all reach the destination together. And then And so this is the type of motivation that seeks to place oneself and all sentient beings simultaneously in the state of awakening. And then the lesser level is that the king-like bodhicitta, which is, the example is a king because the king, assumes the throne and is king, and then having become king, he can then provide well-being and happiness for all of his subjects. So that's the kind of motivation that says, I will seek awakening myself, I will attain the state of Buddhahood, and then I will bring all sentient beings to that level. And so Lord Jigten Sumgön says in his Kabum, or collected teachings, that he himself practices this middling level, the one that is like a captain, the captain of a ship, the aspiration, for oneself and all sentient beings to reach the state of awakening together.
Gane count men were yin in me hede, Hene just saw Don Banira, Hene just saw Don Banizu, Tankoraja Danzini Yorwa, what Jean Chien said, when I jute Papan de letter, Hene just saw Don Banis. Tene Hene just saw Don Bani, Runner saw Cheva, Runner saw Cheva sentences are Jeva and Jaba. That Jeva and Jaba, neighbor Dachi Las Ora, Dapa Cheba, some cheated letter, run sort of Chevas.
So Chewa, Neba, Gapa.
Jeva, neighbor, Jaba, Jane Royara, or tis Samada, Dapa, the Cheba, Las or Sama Pache, did you sort cheated letter, run sort of Chevas. Garne can't many was and a garne, Yoba, and Miba, Tamchipa, Ta cheated, Ta can't many batella. Gane count many was raw. What's a new discussion?
So, and then we have Shri is non-dual primordial wisdom. So first, Shri is referring to the primordial awareness that is free from subject-object dualistic fixation. And then He is emptiness of causes and so forth. So this is referring to the nature of emptiness, or the essence of emptiness, in which there is the absence of self-grasping. And Ra, or Ru,
Oh,
sorry. So the free from, so still on He, emptiness, free from self-grasping, dualistic, from which there also arises grasping to others. So having abandoned concepts of self and other, this He is the meaning of emptiness. And then Ru is free from coming together. So Ru is freedom from the extremes of, birth or coming together, being birth, abiding and destruction. It is also freedom from the extremes of eternalism and nihilism. And then Ka is nowhere abiding. So meaning Ka represents the transcendence of existence and non-existence, so beyond the extremes of existence or non-existence.
That in Joe, the same time, Pemba, and David, be Herugan, or that in art, like Japan, be Herugan, said he on that year ago, Sen. Or that's not on Jenam can I just something, but this he goes this.
So then it says, I am a glorious Heruka, the cause of benefit and happiness for all beings. Shri Heruko Ham. And so this is that mantra that was just explained, or the meaning of each of those syllables above. And this section is the generation of divine pride. So in order to meditate on the generation stage, we have to have some degree of like real confidence in our nature being that of the deity. So it's important to generate here the divine pride.
Dinjola ni subject rawa. Chwa kajida.
Drupa, yore be.
The show nas ni man. Ti sama be.
Yore, yeah.
Kajida.
Chusum.
Ya da di sa smala shan diksata. Ti jil shin ya. Tene dawni parchen dombar zebe punga jawa renga dang kamga renga jinchi so na changcho zimba zewa rinse. Te ta pungkam jinchi la je shi de rindwa. Tene ta ran kholo domba ze de le pungbo nga jawa ngas. Te soji pungbo nambar nangzi sila gro ni du. Sorwe pungbo dorje ni ma. Dorje pungbo dorje jarbo.
Chinam rang relation de lab gyore. Okay, rang kholo dem cho yamba tene.
Anta. Karse?
Chinam lok to kable kapore.
Lok me da.
Lok yorwa tene ngala.
Lok me da nge. Ta punga jawa ngas de nga lando.
So tene rang kholo domba.
Ta rang kholo domba zebe. Pungbo nga. Soji pungbo nambar nangzi. Sorwe pungbo dorje ni ma sen rinchen jung de ri. Dorje pungbo.
Sorwa.
Dorje. Ya sorwe pungbo.
Sorwa kare.
Pungbo ta pungbo lam do ta.
De fla kare.
Fla sorwe pungbo dorje ni ma sen du rinchen jung de ri se. Dorje ji pungbo be ma khar ji ma chu se. Te na ma ta ye ri. Dorje pungbo dorje jar bos. Te re ta kar se. Tong yo chu ba. Ta karis.
Dorje kya bo do
soji pungbo nambar sorwe pungbo dorje dorje pungbo. Namje pungbo. Rebe. Wada te dorje samba ko shu.
Dorje samba tang samba.
Ya dorje samba.
So de yum nga rebe pungbo.
Ta jambo se la khana marai.
So dampo yum re ya re. Dampo gyawa re nga re or yum re.
Jawa re nga ra te na ma ta ye ti re nga.
Okay, yeah.
Soji pungbo nambar nangzi.
So each of first we have, then it says so my 5 aggregates, so I appear as the great glorious Chakrasamvara. My 5 aggregates are the 5 Buddha families. So each of the 5 aggregates being first the aggregate of form is Vairochana, the aggregate of feeling is Ratnasambhava, the aggregate of perception is Amitabha, the aggregate of formation or mental formation is Amoghasiddhi, and the aggregate of consciousness is Vajrasattva.
Tene tata karseta. Yom nga china. San sanje jema ila sa sankam number thaba sanje jema. Chungkam number thaba kare mama ke rwa. Menkam number thaba te ko gan molab rwa. Sanje sa chu me nongkam number thaba tamse turmas. Ta namken kam number thaba dorje inchu usen ga lamdo ka ji. Ta china ten ta yom nga te chakrasamvara kam nga pa number thaba.
So then we have also the 5 elements or the 5 mothers, so the 5 female consorts. So the completely purified element of earth is Sanjay Chema. The completely purified element of water is Mamaki. The completely purified element of fire is Kukarmo. And the completely purified element of wind is Damsik Droma. Or Samayatara, and the completely purified element of space is Dorje Yingchukma.
Tene ta jenchi zendwa. Ta make jenchi te sai ningbo chi. Mai ro. Nawa te nawa do namcho. Te changna dorje chi. Tene na te namke ningbo chi. Jie te jian sei qi, lu jie jian qi zhiba nambar si qi, yi ji jian qi te gun sangbo qi. Dai song ya? Yi ji jian qi rwa? 我这在间起抽生把抽是我真的他这间起抽生把抽真的鱼去了抽多些马斯了炸多些马斯了啊鱼去了抽上呢这间起生把什么这些那把啥送起来是我在做这个做年年轻的他是基本上是怕那把啥送的是他是让一年多的是今天总有了基本上把都能用它是用是抽是老有了我基本上把都能用是抽是光这那有啊
Oh, cheering. Yeah.
基本上把都能用是抽是我真的我真的真的我让说提碰他们他经济他他们让一抽的有人说说你们起抽呢
And so then the sense sources are ayatanas. So as it says in my sense sources are the bodhisattvas. So the sense fields or ayatanas of the eye are Sai Ningpo or Tsidigarbha bodhisattva of the earth. The sense field or ayatana of the ears is Vajrapani. The ayatana of the nose is Namgai Ningpo, or the Bodhisattva is the essence of space. The tongue is Chenrezig. The body is Jipa Namsal, or the Bodhisattva of the complete purity of obscurations, or completely purified obscurations. And the mind is Samantabhadra. So in that way, the six sense fields or ayatanas are the six bodhisattvas. And the objects, likewise, the yu sama yang the jangchup sima yindai.
So you so dorje ja dorje che dorje ro dorje sta. Teso nga tun zimi na nyamna chi tom derwa chakdan sho ma sona.
Dinidi Dorje Sema.
Sema Genchi
Sema.
Genchi Sema Cho.
So then the objects, the fields of the sense objects, like the outer forms perceived by the eyes, the sounds perceived by the ears, and so on and so forth, are also the six female bodhisattvas. And this is, of course, when they are experienced from within the meditative absorption that is without grasping, without dualistic fixation. And so mainly it is that through the power of the practice that fixation is purified. And when fixation is purified, then all phenomena arises as the pure display of the deity in this way, having each of these different aspects of phenomenal appearance manifests as like the pure, like Buddhas of the five Buddha families, the consorts, the bodhisattvas, and the bodhisattvas. And so Lord Jigten Sumgön says that the generation stage is primordially established, meaning that this is actually the nature that it is primordially. It has been from the beginning. And so therefore it is a matter of actually recognizing what is as it actually or truly is.
Shortran dia shakse tera nga om sumba se jin do wa ti hungi nga te ta ran kholo dun ba ze de le tuka le hong le ti hungi nga ta chu ne hong tang bo om sumba se ro wa te na ho chi te le nja hana se te jang khu chi te le nja hana ba ya se te mar wo chi wa te ne 아나야 호방가면서 어때 서버지 어때 초셔라다 이게 또 배소 첨보요 봐 배 워전 초시래 게이트 퍼시스 다 메뉴래 어떤저데 다 손권동 섬당도 초연 초배 용수 초를 메케도 티 워전 초 메케 dorje 다 셰이로야면 dorje 라바탄 사기 탐지 dorje 사기 차바 그래 고런동 라른동 들으요래 매 쿠르칸 체드 라피도네다 어때 다 상소 게이트 좀 3% 다 첨보를 도와서 속에서 다 메뉴 스지 첨보요 봐 桑巴子大门的实际前部有吧，我啥心点吧，前部确送咱们他中国的起，他是想想这啥嘛那个做吃饭真有了，嘛对。
So then, from the life force syllable Hung at the heart, emerge the Sumbani mantras. So from the Hung syllable, then we visualize the arising of these Sumbani mantras, which are actually appear on page 81. So for the first from the Hung emanates Om Sumbani. Sumbani, Sumbani, Hung, Hung, Pe. And so then this is first black, that one is black, and then Om Drihana, Drihana, Hung, Hung, Pe, which is green, and then Om Grihana Paya. So first the black Sumbani mantra goes to the eastern direction, the green Drihana goes to the north. And so then Grihana Paya Hung Hung Pe is red, and it goes to the west. Om Anayaho Bhagavan Bajra Hung Hung Pe is yellow, and that goes to the south. And so what is happening here is that these mantras are emanating out from the Hung at the heart, and they're traveling to the four directions and creating like a tent, like an invincible kind of a tent in each of the four directions, with their respective colors, dispelling whatever obstacles, are preventing any obstacles or hindrances from entering. And so they're also endowed with many light rays, and then from this, as it says, so they emanate to the four directions and transform then into the sphere of protection. So a Vajra fence, a Vajra ground, Vajra web, Vajra tent, Vajra canopy, and a dome of wisdom flame. So the outer layer is that sphere of primordial wisdom fire, becoming a vast protection sphere, solid, secure, and utterly terrifying. It is impenetrable to obstructors, even to Brahma. So in saying even to Brahma, this is just to say that it's like extremely splendorous and really vast and totally impenetrable. So then we can conclude with the instructions here. We'll address some of the questions. So the first one is page 76 of the sadhana mentions the 8 mahasiddhas. Then later it mentions Marpa, Milarepa, Gampopa. Are these the same? And if not, who are the 8 mahasiddhas? So on page 76. So no, it's not. They're not the same. The 8 mahasiddhas are referring to the 8 mahasiddhas, the Indian mahasiddhas. Where does it say that? Oh yeah, 8 mahasiddhas. Okay. Okay, so maybe he won't get into who each one is at the moment, but why do we offer sok? What does Gana Chakra mean? Dini sok cheyaki jumsin gare yore. Dini yang the Gana Chakra gidunda gare yore.
So se na jitanji na babu bamu ga tong zhong ko ge res. Zai ne ni ne ne so se ya de so nam so so to ya. So se lam do khona. Wa de so so to ya de ko ge res. Tere zom ne ne so so ke tamse nyam cha so jang ne ta sang ga tamse ma bo yo zo ro ya ti na le sam san mo kar men ko kare di sin ro zi ge wa. Wo te yin tamse nyam cha sa ma pa gang ne. Cho dan tu mo salam far chi tam chi xian ne. 초단 투문 오로 녀어서 투야 펜토 요레스
so the reason for the Gana chakra, so he said, Gana chakra, in Tibetan we say tsok, which actually literally means like accumulating or gathering. And so it is, first of all, it's a gathering of, like a party, a celebration of dakas and dakinis, and it's a means to gather the accumulation of merit specifically. So it's a great, again, with that word, that term tsok, which means to gather. So it's a gathering or accumulation of merit. And it also serves to purify any deteriorated or damaged samayas. So there are a lot of secret mantra samayas, a lot of commitments, and it is possible that there have been, any number of like kind of smaller or greater transgressions, and so it serves to repair or purify those transgressions. It also serves to pacify obstacles, and it leads to, or it serves to assist kind of the ripening of the two types of accumulation, the two types of attainment, the cities, the common and supreme cities. So then the next one is, can you give some instruction on the technique for the dripping? I have a hard time accessing that accessing that when maintaining the blazing. Dini te tumo gomju yorwa. Dini me pena kong garsi me la mikpa chegi yona. Dini hang yorwa hang karpo.
Hong la me
Dina the hang karpo. Yang sikpa. Sure yorwa. Dini di garsi me la mikpa chegi yona. Dini yang de sikpa de zo yang de mar baya tes kapore. Dini di yang gomso gi korla tes amangsa shena.
That's just they may are barne, and Yamen Bardoa. They may are barne, they harm the Garchat Marshu, they marry this young. They made Yabecha and made Jibor Deva Jimba Ninka Hilero, Ninka Jimba Lero. They harm Garcha my own teacher, Auntie some court chief, they may man mandro. They may man mandro on, Becha may Garcha Jimba Lebu, may Ninka don't let. Then do Marmando Yachi. They may are this, but there's some no dance over Gacha. They are attempting in Rickshaw Sarwa.
Gacha de take back.
Hana. That's over they made huge Chimbochirama made some done.
So then it's over me la Samlo Tanya Yurebe. Then a Karja Shida Samlo Matang.
Or the mayor then Demba Matona Gacha some down Pento Shida Yomaris.
So when you're visualizing, the flame, the below the navel, and that flame or that fire kind of becomes stronger and stronger, and it travels to, each of the places, as it says here in the text, burning away the 3 seeds. So it kind of flares up, to the navel, to the heart level, to the throat level, and as it becomes really, really strong, it causes the white element at the crown to drip. However, the main kind of condition is to have the strength of the fire, so the strength of the fire in the navel, because if that fire doesn't become really strong, then there isn't going to be much benefit in focusing on the white element, because that's kind of a natural product of the fire, the fire blazing. So if you find it difficult to maintain the visualization of both, then it's better to focus on the navel, to focus on the fire and allow that to become really stable, and then gradually, to incorporate the dripping of the white element. So then, Can you say more about the 9 modes of dance? Dini gar chape gi namba gu yorwa de la.
Ale kar nyam go serve.
Nyam gu.
Ale that is jeji chi tangbo shin
So
ba.
maybe we'll do that later. What is the best way to incorporate the Chakrasamvara accumulation into daily practice? Is it necessary to do the entire sadhana when accumulating the 100,000 mantra count? Dini soso pena soso gi
So
soso lega drawo yona yang chale dramandra yona dini yang Nima rede la kasi dimcho gomgo samna dini yang kapshi yaksho gare yore pena dadung de boom check sa go samna yang de karsang chenang lingya yore nune chine yene yang de drupta chatsang lo gogerebe yang na dinda dadung dinda de nga tesa donna de gerebe de drupta machini
da derwa so dan rikri so so chun marana so what daxi yabo gom gore tene chamni je changsho semte yabo gores techine den da yabo daxi la yin yabo gom tene de chu tu don ba don ya marana de tapi me do marave.
So it's obviously it's up to you to determine what you're capable of in your daily life. It sounds like he's sort of suggesting that it's preferable to do the practice if you can. But if you don't have time, then what can you do? He said. So the main thing in that case, if you do accumulations without going through the sadhana, the most important thing is to have like a really stable generation stage, generating yourself as the deity, and also especially to have love and compassion. So, if you have love and compassion and bodhicitta, and then you have a clear visualization, and you just accumulate the mantra without doing the recitation of the text, then that's okay. But, you can see, whether maybe now that you have this abbreviated version, maybe you can incorporate that in. So then the next one is question about mantra visualization. Are all 4 mantras, mother and father, visualized the same? Is it the same circle, i.e. from the heart of the Heruka into the mother and back to Heruka? Dini de nga dangaji yorwa. Dini ditso rede la pena kandro mayimba ya dang yum ningba dang nyening de kortang chikpa drawo rebe pena denda de ya ne
bomje ana
mare kortang
yong kor mila katsang la imba de
ya karsang la chikpa yimba pena
mare je tuka no kor yamyon ni poderwa kasi kanro hiwote
mare kanro jipa laki yong
ana kala kanro hi
ya dang yum
re
ditso jika
re jika
Yes, so it is. It's the same circle, the way it circles in the same way. Could you please describe the empowerment deities? Are they from the 5 Buddha families? Dini Huangla Hirwa. Dini Kungso Sure Gandere Gyawarik Yes, so they are the empowerment deities of the 5 Buddha families together with their consorts, so the male and female Buddhas of the 5 Buddha families. Could you explain which Buddha family Chakrasamvara belongs to? Dini Gyawarik Nga Gingangla Dimcho Gare Yore.
Right, yeah.
So it is Akshobhya family. Yeah. So after the empowerment, do we need to recite the heart mantra of the Chakrasamvara Father 100,000 times, or do we do the 3 Om Vajrayogini accumulation can we do the 3 Om Vajra Yogini accumulation? Oh, okay, as substitute. So essentially, can you do Chakrasamvara or Vajra Yogini? Is that what the question is, really? Okay, which is 100,000. Dini di dem cho ki wang tot ni dini boom chick sa gogarawa.
Really?
Dini yang di dem cho rang di yap ki nga di boom chick sa gogarabe yang na yum yang di Dorje na jo magi nga yang di danga sa na digirabe. Yeah, so it's really the father mantra, the Chakrasamvara. Is the transcendental torma a torma that can be eaten? Deni di jiktin le depe ki torma yorwa.
Really?
Deni di za chogarebe. If you want to eat it, you can eat it. So actually, if it's already been offered, like at the end of your practice, because you've already offered it to the deity, so you can think that it's endowed with blessing and you can eat it afterwards. Is it appropriate to use a multiple-armed form of Chakrasamvara, or should we just use the one from the sadhana? Dini dimcho yang dinda rik dramanda yorwa kashe yang dinda chak dramanda yoba. Dini di nangshin gumna digirebe yang na yinchi minji di lo nangshin de cha ni nangshin gumna. You can do whatever is easiest for you. Or whatever you like. Does a woman's menstrual cycle affect the potency of the movement of the energy? That's a hard one. Okay.
Nyamne shirachi wan long chi tsu yore rwa. Wa nyamne shira yo mare chi mare. Wa tse chi nyamne chi ji de le ti dem cho nyamne chi ti sinap che yore. Khona nyamne sa be cha da lama mambu de ma jube lama sama nyamne chi to rwa ka ti chinam da ma zan yu ya phen ge res. Wa tene an kha zai da wan dong chi dong long dong nyamne shira yo ma. 지당다 야 지납다 요요로 와서는 디스 냠내월 지디 마 주데 지나 치요레스
디스 소소라라 레요로와 레베
카르소소라네
페나데 왕기 레키 차파르데 양나 소소 양진
소소 인드바만도 돼 이게 라서 지나 코서 말와 다 지납다 시나 배샤 도르젠 장대로 나로리 마르다 주네 세이제 라마 사마 지나 냠내 치네 냠내 주데레 지나 주스 와테 타데 바 지나 냠내 진바 치데레 데 지나 주바세 데디 지나 치요레스 카시제 왕다 롱치 소요레 냠내 시다 치기 마레스 와테 엔두티니 보 체바디 사요레스 와테 엔두 데 소소소 칸치나 데로와스
dini di yang dordupa pena cha ni gomna chi china
ta cha di la gom ta la sa song ta
ne so di la drawa yore
ya ta chana kare gom na ri sa la so
okay
te chana juba te chen du res
okay so in terms of the blessing of the lineage of empowerment, so there are a lot of different empowerments for Chakrasamvara, but like this particular lineage is perhaps especially kind of potent or powerful because it belongs to the practice lineage, the blessing lineage. The stream of blessings is particularly strong through the power of practice, that has occurred, from generation to generation and has been passed through an unbroken continuity. So specifically for the purpose of practice, this particular lineage of empowerment is particularly potent. There are other versions of empowerment that are more like a blessing lots of kind of different versions of empowerment, transmission, and teaching, but not necessarily one in which there has been such a solid continuity of practice, from lineage masters, like consistently up through the present day. So this lineage is a particularly potent lineage for practice, like this particular tradition of empowerment. Oh, it doesn't. I think he was I think it had to do with the question that came before, but then when I tried to clarify it, he was like, don't connect it. So I don't know, it just came. Dini di pena gayan sena jime gi driwa yang di jawa di gare yore mo
driwa yore sirwa driwa yore karin yamnya china drigrewe se chiswa da dem cho cha ramanda yore se.
Okay.
So
he said it's connected to the question that came before, which was that can we visualize Chakrasamvara as like a different form, with different arms, numbers of arms, and so forth. So he was just he said you can do whatever you like, but then he was just adding this. So, yeah. And then he didn't hear, I didn't translate the question about the menstrual cycle yet. So, dini bume yang di dawa rede la ta like yorwa. Dini ta lebna di yang di gidutu lebna bumola. Dini di yang nupa la tesa yorwa drawo chagarebe pena nyamle
to serve.
Chepar yorebe. He thinks it's the same.
Yeah. And
then the next question is on page 56. Who are the four Tathagatas? On page 56.
Yeah.
Ngachu Ngadru.
Hello.
Deshin Shik Bani Yorwa. Deni de Gare de
Java she number Nanzi. Number Nanzi. Tonyo Chuba. Rinchen Jungde. Nawanta Tish.
So he says that the four Tathagatas are Vairocana, Amoghasiddhi, Ratnasambhava, and Amitabha.
Then the car in Yam Godoa. Jitan car in Yam Good Chakrasamvara Maras Yorwa. These Maras and not to Chaksanga Dian Kinala, them Choja Yorwa. The non Kanishan gave a chicken cup, but there was gave us another Yanji Wonder. Yanji Wonder, Tambo gave Barwa. What Babas, do Shinjum chair, do Shinjum chair, Babas, do Shinjum chair. Some Janta Papa and Domsworld. What is do Shinjum chair, Babas? Dark Papa Yorwati, doing Jim Chet Babas. Tene got Jake's room was at the Siji Chimboyoba. They shot the Garway man, but the night Siji Chimboyoba. Then Jake's room was what a cook yams on Brava. Song yams on go batella, drova zeva. Yevatella, Jes Shavas, Yevas.
Sung Dampo Gare? Sung Dampo Gare?
Go Bandrola Zeva. Go by Gemo Gayarwa. Or tell and Drova Zeva Yoba. Yevas and Gachon the Stancho Bandon is that. Gachon the Stan is a ye dance, ye dance. Or ye damate, a Jes Chaba, some Zeva on the Tiki ye dance your race. Or Jes Chaba. That's on Kaki, I think Jimata Ngambas, Ngambe Yamsa, those say, song to this Siji Chimbon, Show Chimbon, Yoba, or Tendu Koshos had it. Then the Jimata token yams on Yorwa. Ninja Androva Zeva, Drova Zeva, Ninja Drova Zeva, Shiva Trova Boma, Shivarwa, Trova Boma. Or then one side said, or that's a Siji Yontian Mambo, but Yamsen Yoba meeting Joma. mixing time, but was cautious told Sanjay and some of the Euro, what in this cautious what in it that's a Jetan this is how Madas Madahundo, Rixi Jatan. One also Chasing at the Damaki, Shino Nark, Nadian Narki, or Cargin Chatan, this it is. Chova, and a control. Shiva, Chova Band or is Chova Bansa. Chova Bangha can do it.
So there are different ways of like different adjectives that are used to describe the different 9 moods of dance. According to different systems or different traditions. So in the fivefold path of Mahamudra, these are the 9 moods of dance that we find here in this context. And so these can be translated in a whole lot of different ways. So I don't know if it is, if you happen to know where it is, if anyone happens to know where the translation is in this text, let me know, because it might be useful to use the same words. Oh, it's not. Okay, it doesn't come up. It doesn't say what they are. It's in what? Yeah. It's in a number of places. So anyway, he's telling me to hurry up because we don't have much time. So the first one is kind of like Gekpa is like alluring or attractive, and so that's kind of the meaning, is that it's attractive, it's captivating. And then Pawa, which is heroic, and so what is meant here is that there is the function of conquering or pacifying the Maras. And this is also signified by, for instance, the tiger skin that is worn. And then Jiksu Runga, which is often translated as terrifying. And so this is the terrifying, being so so it's like overwhelming, with brilliance or splendor, like the like brilliance of a fire, the fire at the end of the kalpa. So just like completely overwhelming, or completely kind of awesome. And then those 3 are the 3 moods of the body. And then there are the 3 moods that are connected with the speech. So one is laughing, which is, or smiling, could be laughing, could be smiling, which is expressing, or embodying love for all wanderers or all beings. And then then the other one is like kind of like scolding, meaning that with great concern or compassion for beings, it sort of has this function of like scolding in out of love, trying to direct in a positive way, through that speech that is kind of harsh or scolding, and then kind of roaring or overwhelming in Namba. I don't know, Namba? Namba. Namba, the Sungi.
This color numbers is Siji Chimbo,
so it's, I don't know, I don't remember how it's usually translated, but it is like really. It's like roaring or kind of loud, overwhelming roar that overwhelms, those like sort of beings that are need to be tamed. And then so that's the 3 of the speech, and then the 3 of the mind are compassion, so great with great love for beings. Peaceful, which is banishing, all kind of wrathful or violent ones, and marvelous or awe-inspiring, which is referring to all of the enlightened qualities, all of the extraordinary qualities of the heart, all of the enlightened qualities of the Buddhas, and being endowed with all of these. And so there are these different, ways that the 9 moods of dance are explained, but these are how they are according to the Dharmakirti Shalung, or the oral instructions of Drupon Dharmakirti.
Yeah.
Since we don't have time to take tea break, but if you are going to restroom, please go join the mantra recitation, okay? And then come back. We start. So. Ombe zambe rozana ye ho be on saram bedan drag ne bezar varna ne ye ho pe. O sarvam bedan drag ne ye bezar varna ne ye ho be.
Page 61. The mantra revolving around the hung at the heart of each dakini radiates light. From these rays of light, deities emerge who then act for the benefit of beings. The light then gathers back and dissolves into the hung.
Om drag ne ye ho hong pe om drag ne ye. On dragane home be on la me home be. la me hong be on kinda ro he hong pe on kinda ro he hong be on ribbon ne hong pe on
The light radiating from the Hong at my heart gathers the protection sphere and the charnel grounds into the immeasurable palace, which dissolves into the 4 Dakinis, who dissolve into the mother, who dissolves into the father, who then dissolves into the Hong in my heart, which dissolves from the hook at its foot upward into the body into the head into the crescent moon, and finally that gathers into the nada string. The nada too dissolves and becomes imperceptible, settle within luminous clarity, even in vast. Once again, like a fish leaping from water, I arise as the great glorious Haruka, with one face and 2 arms, whose magnificent form appears clearly, but is empty like a mirage.
The so-called practice, a brief Dharma offering to the Dharma protectors. Joy bar the dine ja sun je da ge jan so je be so nai je ro lai ban je san je ro bar jo.
Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings.
Dong dai dong je je dan ra va je dong me be de wa dai me ra va je nie ren ja dai nie dai ra va da
May all sentient beings have happiness in the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all sentient beings have happiness in the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion.
Loi me den doi doi jie den de jiao yan shen jia jie na xiang ai de zeng er jie ba om huan zhan shi ai dai da ma lan bam bam dam jian zi huan xie na wu long ge be Loi me bar zi xue xin, kor ve nye xia be ve zi, lui jian da ma mer jie gen, kai zhu da den hong a wen, zi le wen zhe de zi gu, zhe xie ye zun da war jie, 我觉得自然把也觉得这样做就。
Page 3. I appear as the Yidam deity. From the seed syllable of my heart emanate Ram, Yam, and Kam. Fire, wind, and water burn, scatter, and wash away the faults and defects of the Torma. Above the wind and the fire of the hearth of skulls, above that is a vast and spacious skull filled with the 5 meats and 5 nectars. The 5 meats are marked with Om, Hung, Tam, Hri, and Ah, and the 5 nectars with Mam, Lam, Bam, Pam, and Tam. The wind of the Hung emerges from the nostrils, blowing, stirring, and lighting the fire, which melts and boils the substances. The defects bubble over, and the pure essence fills the skull to the brim. Above a moon disk lid, Hung, Ah, and Om are stacked, one above the other. Light radiates from these and gathers nectar, which merges with the syllable. The 3 syllables and moon disk melt into light and dissolve into the nectar. Thus it transforms into an ocean of wisdom nectar. Light radiates from the seed syllables at my heart, inviting the Lama, Yidam, and Dakinis, the protectors and guardians of the Dharma, wealth gods, guardians of the directions, local spirits, obstructing spirits, karmic creditors, and the 6 classes of beings, who then gather before me like billowing clouds.
Om bazar gam badam be de be alogen ande nevede yada bade zazova. Drupon Rinchen Dorje Böge
According to their ranking order, these guests partake of the torma with light tubes emerging from their vajra tongues, and thus are pleased and satisfied.
Dorje Chala So Wan Loi Meng A Dan Ba Da Sar Nyen Je Be Lai Ma Na Je Je Ro Je Ga Ran Ka Ye So So Zhe Jiang Jo De Bar Sor Wan De So Do Je So Oin A Woin Ye Dan Jia Ju Nan Je Dan Nan Je Lai Me Je De Be De Je De Zan Je Je Dan Mar Na Ma Ya Je Ma Dan Den Je La So Jar We La Xie Zhuo Ran Jiang Sar Nian Ge Ye Dan Jian Kre Jiang Zi Zo Xie Xie Ru Je Men De De Zhe Zo Da Ne Nge Zhe Nan Ye Zar De Sol O A Wei Tam Jin Jiang Zo De De Jin Pan Gun Jia Xie Jia Run Zhen Jia Zhe Kre Jia Bei Ma Nen Dai Jun La Song Gen Be Zo Den Song Qu Jie Zhe Ma Dang Wen Na Jiang Zhe Ha Ra Na Xin Jiang Sen Dong Ra He La Bei Ha Ren Nui Jie Zi Ma Ra So Xue Jiang Kru Jie Dur Ma Nan Xie Xie Ru Jie Ga Ran Ka Ye Bar Jie Ne Dun Zhao Gui Zhu Dorjee Lo Bun Ge Zi Sen Qu Dan Den Ba Sun Shen Ber Da Ge Sam Dun Zhe Baran Zu Wang A Wei Na Man Dui Sen Zan Ba La Nui Jie Nur Da Po Mo Nam Mon Zi Lang An Zan Ma Ra Ya Yuan Jie Jue Jie Dur Man Du Yuan Jie Xie Xie Ru Jie Ga Ran Ka Ye Jue Den Lun Ju Bei Wen Zu Wen A Wen La Lu Sa Kre Jia Xin Dang Jiu Jiang Jiu Su Zang Rei Jie Ban Gun Den Jie San Ge Zu Xue Jian Den Be Dur Man De Xie Xie Ru Jie Ga Ran Ka Ye Bar Jie Su Lan Dun Jin Zhup Wen A Wen Nam Sa Pra Sun Jiu Jie Ye Ye Da Nyo Ma Ra Ne Nan Dan Che Pra Yer Ne De Da Ge Da Bun Gur Jie Dur Man De Xie Xie Ru Jie Ga Ran Ka Ye Da Dun Qu Xin Zhe Baran Zu Wang A Wen Ge Dan Lun Jin Zhong Be Zo Lin Jia Pe Lun Xiang Gun Da Gan Yin Qu Jie Dur Man De Xie Xie Ru Jie Ga Ran Ka Ye No San Shen Ne Pen Sam Ji Lin Jia Xiang Shen Pe Lun Ger Wang A Wen Zhe Zhe Sim Jian Da Ye Zo Dorje Dorma Jajende, Jije Roje Garam Gaye, Ran Dong Ar Zoyene, Pande Johnson Danger.
Page 12. Ho, please consider me. Ho, please consider me. Ho, please consider me. Glorious Vajra Guardian, Great Black One, and Haruka, Glorious Great Bhairava. By nature you are one with Dharmata. In essence you are the same within primordial wisdom. Circumstances, you are the foremost Lord of all appearance and existence, and all gods and demons, wrathful local guardian, great leader of activity oppressors, invincible sovereign of radiant splendor. You protect awareness-holden yogins as if they were your own children, and you assess the absorption of oath-bound practitioners. You are endowed with the radiance of peace, the splendor of increasing, and the power of magnetizing activity. You are swift in activities of liberating savage foes and hindrances. Your mighty skill in protecting the teachings is sublime. Powerful Lord with the name, the one endowed with mighty Vajra wrath, great warrior, God of yogins, please heed me. Please dwell in the holy shrine of enlightened body, speech, and mind of myself, the yogin called Vajra Haruka. Please act to conquer the dread of the four maras and all obstacles on my path of supreme bliss, whereby I will accomplish unsurpassed awakening. Please cause me to encounter the samadhi companion that will guide me on the authentic path. Until I attain awakening, help me to never deviate onto mistaken paths with body, speech, and mind, and cause my mind to turn towards freedom and awakening. May all unfavorable circumstances in this world be vanquished. May perfect auspiciousness and goodness pervade and increase. May God, spirits, and humans be brought under control, and at all times in every circumstance may enlightened activities be accomplished according to my supplications. As you are the glory and protector of all wandering beings, please perform activities to grant supreme and common cities without obstruction and effortlessly. May I vanquish all unfavorable circumstances, the enemies and hindrances with wrong views and the like, and may perfect auspiciousness and goodness pervade and prevail. Mahri, by the power of your compassion and previous aspirations, Mother Achi Chukidroma, arise from the Dharma sphere and look upon me from the space of primordial wisdom. Miraculously descend upon this activity mandala. Mother Achi, Lady of Nanam, powerful Dharmatara, Wisdom Tara, Samaya Tara, magnetizing goddess, flesh-eating Karma Dakini, noble lady Tashi Sering Ma, Mio Losang Ma, Tekar Drosang Ma, Tingi Shalsang Ma, and Chupon Drisang Ma, protector of the lineage forefathers, protectors of frightful hermitages, protectors with Samaya who pledge to protect the teachings of the Kagyu lineage. Your luminous wisdom never fades, your compassion never withholds, your blessings are never far, and your power is unobstructed. All of you, bless us yogins and your retinue with your body. Bless us with your enlightened speech. Bless us through your enlightened mind. Bless us through your enlightened qualities. Bless us through your enlightened activities. Act so as to conquer adverse circumstances and the dread of the four maras. Please cause me to encounter the samadhi companion that will guide me on the true path. Thus, until I attain awakening, help me to never deviate onto mistaken paths with body, speech, and mind, but cause my mind to turn towards freedom and awakening. May all unfavorable circumstances in this world be vanquished. May perfect auspiciousness and goodness pervade and increase. May God, spirits, and humans be brought under control, and at all times in every circumstance may enlightened activities be accomplished according to my supplications. As the glory and the protector of all wandering beings, please perform activities to grant supreme and common cities without obstruction and effortlessly. May I vanquish all unfavorable circumstances, the enemies and hindrances with wrong views and the like, and may perfect auspiciousness and goodness pervade and prevail. Jaya, Jaya, Siddhi, Siddhi, Pala, Pala.
Dorje nai boje, yen zhe jirwe yan sun lei jian guo, jia ru dong sun san dong kan zhu jie, kan zhu zhu dong niren zi ger jian guo, xia xie ben xie ma nen da xun da, zhi xie yong ger bo nya zhen dan jie, er jian gong bo dun jie zang a dang, nai bo dong dan xia san ben jie zu, ma mo xie wa gan xie nui jin zhe, feng ya lei xie san xin san len de, ab xue ju zhe lei xie zheng ger jie, zai xie zi rei mo na jiam zhe dang, pa ra men sen jia xie nam tu se, rei xie nor jun ma, xin jiu ya ya sa du ra he la, yer xie ge nga nu jie yang le wer, dan jie dan la zang ba ge ni xie, jie dian ge be dian ba jiu na la, xie dian da lu ya jie dian zai dang, nan de gu song du yong zhe le den, san wa la du song ger dian be zi, ni jiu du yong a dan ren jian dun, zha ye zi da zha bei ni ju dang, ri ma ju zhe me ra dur me zu, zhi me dar za ren jie gong zu zu, ko ge zang wa zang ge jiu ba den, zi ge jian bei yi xian ju bei zu, dian song dam jian jiang zi zu lan bar, su luan ju dong bu lu ji ju jie, gang gu dan zi niang jia xia, gang zhi si ju ji bei xia dun jie, zhi bei da xiong zhi le ngun dun zi, ga dan dian song gu dan gan sa jiang, par dan yin bei zha bei sa sun jia, dan wei zha sun nu bei ge guang de, par jie jian da xie ga bu dan de, jie san de nan qu xian zhi paran zi, jie dian song guan qu jie ren jin jie, xie zhe dan bei sa xin jia paran zi, jing ge dian si ga jia long ju nan, tam jie song ran ye de zi wei jiong, nan jie jiu wen zhe len zhe paran zi, san jie dian song gun jiu wen ban de, gen dun de jiu nan jie zi bei ber, nian bei da xi zha bei dong bei la, gu dan long jie jie ba ni dun zi, lin bei le de jie, mei la yang zi de mo jie wa dang, na wer da de nian bei dam de yin, zhi xian ge ba na da me zhe yin, si gan jiu wei ron zi zhen ba dang, le la ren jiang de wa guan nen zu, Yela number or wedding zenja. Same deve na yango branzo. Chusar chujo chujo chudena. Tazara mai jin ze don je branzo. Yela zai je long jo pa sanzo. Jisa lan zhang chu le dun dun zo. Jibe zha jia chung kun se wa jiu. Dor na sam dun ye yin zhe ba dang. Da dang da ye sim jin tam ji ji. La mi zu be xiang ji zhi ba la. Gar jin par ji ma lu xi wa dang. Ten ji ma lu lun jin zhi ban zu. Ji gan xi ye la zhen ba sam ji jiang. Ngö zhe zu wan ze ba ye. Song ma yi jin er wei ji nan ji. Da ge sam do ma lu zhe. Bezar gam padem bebe debe aloge ngande nevede shabda pade zazo. Bazazado Samaya Manabalaya Bazrasado Dinoba Tejandro Mebawa Sudugayo Mebawa Subejayo Mebawa Anurado Mebawa Sarvaside Membrayas Sarva Karma Suzame Siddhajaya Guru Hong Ha 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 Ho Bangaven Sarvadardangata Bazamamemes Bezabava Mahasamaya Sadhu. Page 33. Underne Denda Lenjeto Korvazeda Joineja Nemezeda Wanjoso
Remaining within cyclic existence, fused with this image, please bestow good health, longevity, and power, as well as every kind of excellence. In the presence of the transcendent conqueror, you vowed to care for us practitioners as lovingly as your own child. May the auspiciousness of the Dharma protectors be present.
Chakrasamvara, page number 73. Vaishudha Sarva Dharma Soba Vaishudha.
From the state of emptiness arise Ram, Yam, and Kam. They burn, scatter, and wash away the defilements, faults, and defects of the feast offering. Above wind, fire, and a hearth of skulls is a kapala containing the feast substances, which are the 5 meats and 5 nectars in essence. As the wind stirs and the fire blazes, the substances become the nature of the 5 sense pleasures. Above the skull, white, red, and blue Om Ah Hung appear and transform the substances into an ocean of radiant and immaculate nectar. To the root and lineage gurus, the Yidam, Chakrasamvara, Viras, Dakinis, and the ocean of oath-bound ones, we present this feast offering endowed with the 5 desirable qualities. Please mend breaches of us yogis and grant accomplishment.
Sabara Varangana Zar Panzakaya.
Hong, from the all-encompassing universal field, the unfabricated, unelaborated expanse of great bliss emanates Samatabhadra offering clouds. The substances composed of the most perfect elements of samsara and nirvana bring forth joy and bliss of the desirables. By offering this feast of outer, inner, secret suchness and so forth, fulfill the sacred bond with Vajradhara, the Lord who pervades the Buddhas of the 3 times, with his sons Talopa, Naropa, and the 8 Mahasiddhas, the great accomplished monks and scholars. Fulfill the sacred bonds with the supreme Siddhas of Tibet, the land of snow, Marpa, Milarepa, Gampopa, Bliss-gone Pagmadrupa, Lord of sages Ratnashri, glorious root and lineage gurus, and all the Kagyu gurus. Fulfill the sacred bonds with Haruka Chakrasamvara, the embodiment of all Sugatas, Vajravarahi, and the 4 classes of Dakinis, the deities of the 3 wheels, the 8 gatekeeping goddesses, and the Yidams of the 4 classes of Tantra. Fulfill the sacred bonds with the protector of the teachings, Mahakala and his retinue, Achi Chukidroma, the 5 Tsering sisters, and Dharma protectors. Please bestow common and supreme accomplishment. I and all sentient beings openly confess accumulated faults of the 3 obscurations, and especially the careless breaches of the disciplines of the 3 vows, committed knowingly and unknowingly with ignorant and afflicted minds. By the power of thus fulfilling sacred bonds and offering confession, may I attain the warmth of the 2 stages, and may I reach the summit of the excellent path. May the perfection of the 5 kayas and immeasurable bodhicitta become the cause of ripening and liberating beings.
Page 93, page number 93. 53. De jen de gar je ro nan joy man joy be me de a la 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 o je ba nan je de wen jo nan je ma zo jo ban zo a ra le o ra jiang guan bo ji yun zu kan ru zha we de wa su ji be de wa su wan zu xie wei ge ji gan ze ba da lai de jian de wa su dar ben zi nie den bai ju a la 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 o de wai ban bie zhuo men ju de me dong er jie me zhu de jue jie wen ai ne Chai ben o boy joy my jur de wai jie ye ro wan zu be mai jie be ro nye jie bo wa da we zhen ban zu de wai ben zu yan dai den ne me ge we sem dai ne du dai dar zo yan da do bu zon zo ban zhe jie jie om be za za do sama ya ma nu ba la ya ba za za do de no ba de zhan zhe zhe men ba wa so de ga yo men ba wa so be ja yo men ba wa anara do men ba wa sarva siddha mambraya sarva karma sa me zidan shya guru oi bhagavan sarva tathagata Beza Bhava Ma Samaya Sadhu Vam Beza Sadhu Samaya Manu Balaya Baza Sadhu Dino Bhai Dejan Dedo Me Bhava Sudha Gayo Me Bhava Subhajayo Me Bhava Anurado me bhava sarva siddha membraya sarva karma sa me siddha shya guru oi bhagavan sarva tathagata bhasarmam Meza bhava ma samaya Sadhu Beza Sadhu Samaya Manu Balaya Beza Sadhu Deno Bhaya Me Bhava Sudha Gayo Me Bhava Subhajayo Me Bhava Anurado Me Bhava Sarva Siddha Membraya Sarva karma sa me zidan shya guru bhagavan sarva tathagata bhasarmam bhasar bhava ma samaya sadhu Page number 64. 64. Sarva Dharma Soba Vaishidam Tombe Ngale Lome Dorje Tenda Ale Kabala Yanshen Jache Venand Berama Mejele Dezeng Adan Nagoda Gele Shangana Hoi Amzen Gamjen Zenba Yando Barve Yeshe Deze Janzo Jemborjo.
From the state of emptiness appears wind, fire, and a hearth of skulls. On this from A arises a vast and wide Kapala. Inside that from B, Ra, Ma, Mu, and Shu arise the 5 nectars, and from Na, Go, Da, Ha, and Ku arrive the 5 meats, marked with Hung, Brum, Jim, and Kam. Through purifying, realizing, and flaring, the substances become a vast ocean of wisdom nectar.
Kolongaya lazo ja dorje carbon samsara choyonda samje gorbezo.
Pem. The light radiating from the Hong at my heart invites the conqueror Chakrasamvara from the pure land of Akanishta, together with myriad Viras and Yoginis, to come here to the space before me. On the tongues of the assembly of the deities of the 5 wheels are white vajras the size of a barley grain. The torma is offered to the deities by moving it in a circle to the left for those in the cardinal directions, and to the right for those in the intermediate directions.
Bezarandagana Samaya Satan Jeshaya Om Bezara Levon Zawon Bawa Bezarandagana Samaya Satan Jeshaya Om Bezara Levon Zawon Bawa Bezarandagana Samaya Sada Drejaya Voin Shirega Sabarevar Agamba de Zazo Imba de Zazo Voin Shirega Sabar Beba de Zazo Voin Shirega Sabarevar Devamba de Zazo Voin Shirega Sabarevar aloga bade za so wa wen je roga sa bar var gande bade za so wa wen je roga sa bar var neve de bade za so wa wen je roga sa bar var shabda bade za so Dorje wan shu dang ji jia jia ba jie nan jie dorje ba mo de lan de.
I bow to glorious Haruka, great hero, utterly pure Vajra Lord, and to Vajra Varahi, passionate one for those with great passion.
Si dang xie wa nyam pra cha pa chon shen gun de do ban jam Chö neng ngư bò tam chen ka tara nyam bè da nye se par de gom bò tu je chö ye ji je lim par chir bè tu je chö da lan zu je la mo nam je shin de ji zren ze do so.
Equally victorious over attachment to existence and peace, you have conquered all conceptual thoughts. You see the even space-like nature of all phenomena. Protector, may the nectar of your heart infused with your compassion drench me. Goddesses, please care for me with your great love.
Om ka kai 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 sawa yak cha ra cha sa bu da che da Manda Amara Draga Draga Nidaya Emambale Drahanendo Samaya Rajendo Sarvasid Membraya Zandu Yade Bam Yade Dra Bunzata Bhavata Zindata Mada Gramada Mama Sarva Gardaya Sesagam Bashadai Saya Jamba Vendo Hong Peso Vai Om Joy Joy Shen Jo La Da Le No Je Sen Bon Jong Bo Dang Xia Za Ye Da Nyu Xie Da Ji Sen Gan Zhuo Ma Me Zo Chö Jian Den Bia Dor Ma De Xie Ne Nan Jie Da Jia Jiang Zhe Zhe Bia Zhong Zi Juan Gar Jie Nian Zi Xie Wa Dang Chen Le Nan Xuan Zhe Ban Zo.
Om, guardians of the directions, local guardians, gods, and hosts of nagas, harm-bringers, bloodthirsty demons, elemental spirits, flesh-eaters, hungry ghosts, insanity inflictors, memory-crippling demons, dakinis, and mamos, please accept this Torma offering. Help us yogins attain enlightenment, pacify adverse circumstances, harm and injury, and cause the four enlightened activities to be accomplished.
Samaya Manabalaya Eroga Denoba Dejandro Me Bava Sudagayo Me Bava Anarado Me Bava Subhajayo me bhava sarva siddha membraya sarva karma suzame siddhan jaya guru ha 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 bangavan beza hero gama me mensa hero ko bhava mahasamaya sadhu Page 80. Jede bana rangene soje ye bana ranyela tembarjo.
The mundane beings return to their own abodes. The wisdom beings dissolve into myself.
Danye jonden de sarve nyengar huang garbo marbo trabanye zambod he nabo menye zo hong hai mers Yela tam jela behan jang nan jen zembar.
I appear as the transcendent conqueror. At my heart are white Om Ha, at my head yellow Namahi, at my crown red Svaha Hu, at both shoulders black Vasaut He, at both eyes crimson Hong Hong Ho, and at the limbs green Pe Ham.
Zambane zambane ho be ho garna garna ho be ho garna vaya ho be ho na ya ho banga vembez ho be la de son jo me gar lam jo re je ja dan gor je la pen zo ba yo sa ye nga wen de jo de ngo ro do be ra ye zo je yan dor je zi mo kan zhe zo de xian ko le wa mo ra ge je Nir je yer jian jian zi zo nan jian jo dong er zhe do be chai xie zo.
82. Supreme Deity, illusory dance of union endowed with 7 aspects, Lord who pervades the 100 Buddha families and your retinue, through the force of your inconceivable, perfect, abundant qualities, please bestow the auspiciousness to attain common and supreme accomplishments. Dharma Datu, Vajra Queen, foremost Dakini, and 4 Dakinis, powerful goddesses who rule the wheel of great bliss, an ocean-like assembly of protectors who guard the 24 holy sites. Please grant the auspiciousness to attain common and supreme accomplishments.
English, page 84.
Oh, page 84. By this virtue and by the power of whatever virtue is amassed in the 3 times in samsara and nirvana, may I and all beings without exception, limitless as the sky, accomplish the victorious King of Delight.
86.
Page 86. Exalted Supreme Deity, victorious Chakrasamvara, if I practice you with one-pointed devotion, let your compassion neither wane nor be indifferent, but swiftly reveal your delightful, sublime face. Through practicing the key points of settling into the state of controlling and binding the channels, winds, and drops of my impure, illusory body, may it become free from obscurations, undefiled and clear, and may I attain supreme accomplishment in this very life. If due to a lack of fortune and diligence, I am not free in this life, then at the time of death, may the assembly of Viras and Dakinis of the 5 wheels, such as skull pieces and the rest, receive me with parasols, victory banners, and a symphony of music, and various offering clouds, and then lead me to the pure field of Kichara. There may I behold the face of victorious Haruka. In that field may I practice diligently the supreme swift path of secret mantra, and thereby cleanse the 2 obscurations and all karmic traces. May I accomplish the unified field of the supreme Vajra body endowed with 7 aspects. Although I may attain the Dharmakaya for my own sake in this way, out of immeasurable compassion for all mother beings, may the 2-form emanations show the teachings of the supreme vehicle, and thus may I swiftly accomplish the state of Vajra holder. By this virtue may I swiftly accomplish the divine assembly of Chakrasamvara deities and establish all beings without exception in that state.
Yellow book, page 56.
Yanda Zamban de Jedona La Sanje Janzamba Mengor Jegor De Jengon Zai Bade Me Ye Deva Jinje Jave Jengander Dai Jendene Zembe Jerma Dai Jeva Jinje Barma Jubar Tere jene nande jardon joe de gedag nabaye George Sanje Johnson Tamje Je Gemen Barajinje Labdozor Daya Dai Benzandaya Awaim Boda Nayesowa.
Emma Ho. In the center is the wondrous Buddha Amitabha of boundless light. To his right is Chenrezig, the Lord of great compassion, and to his left is Vajrapani, the Bodhisattva of great power. They are surrounded by an inconceivable number of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Limitless peace and happiness is the pure land of great bliss. As soon as I and others pass from this life unhindered by another samsaric birth, may we be born there and see the face of Amitabha, boundless light. Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions, through your blessings, please accomplish this aspiration without hindrance. Taya ta pansadriya awa bodha nae soha.
Page 20, long life prayers in English.
Page 20. For this realm encircled by snow-covered mountains, you are the source of benefit and happiness without exception. Tenzin Gyatso, Lord Chenrezig, may your life remain steadfast until the end of samsara. Embodiment of the 3 jewels, great being who upholds and increases the teachings of the Shakya lion, you perfectly guide others with your excellent deeds. May you, the precious Guru who accomplishes everything spontaneously, live long. Holder of the teachings of Lord Drikunpa, great sovereign of the 3 jewels, through the power of your peerless compassion and your holy Dharma's peaceful light, you bring relief to beings. May your life be long. Known in the noble land as Aryadeva, you emanated into the Gar clan of eastern Tibet as Chudingpa, the heart son of Jigten Gompo. May the life of the glorious Garchen remain steadfast for 100 aeons. 26. May the teachings of the great Drikunpa Ratnashri, Master of Interdependence, Omniscient Lord of Dharma, who has seen all knowable things, be upheld through teachings and practice, through hearing, reflecting, and meditating, until the end of existence. Your 1,000 arms are the 1,000 wheel-turning kings. Your 1,000 eyes are the 1,000 Buddhas of this fortunate aeon. Your love is boundless like space. I supplicate to Bodhisattva Chenrezig.
Yeah, thank you.
Please stay for a few announcements. Thank you.